This is America in Space, a weekly news and information program on current events dealing with the space industry.
Welcome, and thanks for joining me today. I'm Dawn Meyer, Space Coast News Editor.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Were you like me, listening to that opening of Star Trek series on TV as a child? A lot of people over the years since Star Trek first aired in 1966 watched the show and were inspired by it. I know it inspired me, not only to press on to work in the space program, but also with its vision of a world that managed to rejoice in its differences and seek out others in the galaxy and delight in their differences as well. NASA recently honored the 100th birthday of Star Trek creator, the late Gene Roddenberry, with a broadcast into space of a 1976 recording of Roddenberry's remarks on diversity and inclusion and his philosophy. The broadcast was made into space using the agency's deep space network of radio antennas and will allow, as the agency statement says, the legacy of inspiration, hope, and diversity fostered by the creator of Star Trek to live long and prosper. Here are the words of Gene Roddenberry that were sent into space.
The whole show was an attempt to say that humanity will reach maturity and wisdom on the day that it begins not just to tolerate, but to take a special delight in differences in ideas and differences in life forms. If we cannot learn to actually enjoy those small differences, take a positive delight in those small differences between our own kind here on this planet, then we do not deserve to go out into space and meet the diversity that's almost certainly out there.
NASA Administrator Bill Nelson explains the importance and the influence that Star Trek has had over the years on NASA and those working in space exploration.
For decades, Star Trek's fictional depiction of exploration, it's inspired the NASA workforce in our quest to venture out into the cosmos, but also inspired the country. Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, was certainly ahead of his time. Star Trek featured an unprecedented diversity in its cast members. It represented a bridge working together. NASA also embraces people to work together from all backgrounds.
Roddenberry explains the IDIC philosophy, IDIC, or infinite diversity in infinite combinations, and how it came from people desiring to push for more and seek out, as the opening to the show says, new life and new civilizations.
Star Trek was really built on sort of a backbone philosophy or principle of IDIC, IDIC, which stands for infinite diversity in infinite combinations. In Star Trek, it wasn't about a group of people going out to seek weird-looking aliens. They were going out to find creatures in our universe that looked at the universe in a different and unique sort of way, because we had reached a point in our intellectual evolution where we understood that we had to experience things that were different to grow and evolve, to live the same and only hear the same and not try to hear things that challenged our intellect, that challenged the way we saw things. We would never advance as a species.
Star Trek allowed people like me to see that we could overcome differences and work together. It showed that amazing, diverse, and capable crew all working together to achieve their purpose and mission. NASA and the Roddenberry Foundation hosted a panel of experts calling it Celebrating Gene Roddenberry, Star Trek's Bridge, and NASA. The panelists told how Star Trek served and still serves as an inspiration to generations of scientists, engineers, and sci-fi fans around the world.
Everyone here has done so well is re-educate me on NASA And again, JPL and all the related industries are much more than just that. The way that you guys have spoken about them and the work that you've done and who you've done it with, and the fact that it's not just a US or an American quest anymore. It is a global sort of effort, and that we're working with agencies all around the world to do these things. That is, I mean, at least from my point of view, that is the epitome. That is the United Federation of Planets. That is Starfleet. NASA is the beginning of that. And I'm sorry to bring it back to a fictional story. The world is not about Star Trek. However, from my point of view, my interest in celebrating my father's centennial, I do love the United Federations of Planets. I do love the future where we no longer have borders between us, literal borders between us, but we've embraced the differences among us. And for you guys to share that the projects you've worked on, the projects you've been involved with, involve people of all walks of life everywhere around the world, and that we need more of that is what I hear everyone saying, and I think we all agree with that. I couldn't be more proud, not necessarily to be an American, but to be part of a group that has NASA, that has people like this who really believe in our future of unity and thrusting into space together. That is what I'm proud of. And I thank you guys so much for sharing your history, your background, and what you've been working on and how you've perceived and experienced NASA, JPL, and the other agencies. I am so happy to hear and want more that people are inspired by you guys. You guys are an inspiration, the way that you talk about not just your agencies and where you work, but why you work there, and your belief in the future and your belief in humanity. And that is, you know, again, from my point of view, what Star Trek has always been about. You guys are doing it for real, not just going into space and not just getting people into space. But again, Star Trek was more than just sci-fi. It was about humanity's future. And you guys are incredible. And to hear what you have to say, you are helping us work towards a better future. And you are the inspiration for other people to want to make that better future a reality. So I can't thank you enough. I can't thank NASA for letting me and the Roddenberry Foundation talk to you all. I thank you, and I'll do this. Live long and prosper, everyone.
As a little girl, I was told by my teachers that the Star Trek future was wild speculation and could never be accomplished. It was completely impossible. It was so wonderful listening to this panel of people who can see the possibilities and are working toward them. So happy 100th birthday, Gene Roddenberry, also known as the Great Bird of the Galaxy. I believe that, as Lieutenant Sulu said in the episode The Man Trap, the Great Bird of the Galaxy has indeed blessed our planet. Live long and prosper. From the Florida Space Coast, this is Dawn Meyer for About Space Today.
Space, the final frontier.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to share our program with your family and friends and follow us on Facebook. Join us each week for news and information on America in Space.